going to take a look together. Now, first of all, at this point, the run hasn't officially started yet, although no, that is not true. Let me tell you, this run is a 4 miles, so that is about almost 6.4 kilometers. It's a famous run in the city where I live, Groningen, which is in the north of the Netherlands. And it's a run between Haren, which is a smaller village that lies a little bit to the south of Groningen. So it's from there all the way to the middle of the city center of Groningen. And this where you're looking at right now, it's the finish, although the actual finish is just to the right, out of sight. So from my balcony, I can almost see the finish, but not yet. Not, just it's like a couple of meters further down the line. So 4 miles. That means that the fastest runners, there is a professional group that runs. They usually need about 17 or 18 minutes to finish, which is insanely fast. And they have started at this point because the first one is gonna, arrive soon. So at this point they are actually running, but just not here, but a little bit back somewhere on the course. Actually, the fact that this is 4 miles is kind of odd because in the Netherlands, as well as in Europe, we use the metric system. So 4 miles usually isn't a distance that we run. I mean, we might run it, but it's not like an official run. And somehow here it is. I don't know why exactly, but people enjoy it. I feel like the 5 kilometers is is a famous run that a lot of people run. And this is just a little bit more challenging, but not yet as challenging as the 10 kilometers. So it sort of is a nice change, a little bit of a different kind of run that people usually do here in the Netherlands. And this run is every year in October, and it's usually very, very busy. However, last year there was no run because of the lockdown, the pandemic. And this year there is a run, and it's still rather busy, you can see. But usually people, like applauding, the people watching, they would be like 5 or 6 people thick, it would be way busier than this. So it's still kind of a strange, odd run because there are less people, but then again, it's still festive, it's still happy, there's still plenty of people, and I feel like a lot of people are happy that, we get to have a run today. So that has been quite a lot of fun. Then let's see. Like I said, there's some famous people running, although this year, also because of the lockdown, there are some favorites that are not here because, international travel is still kind of complicated. But still, there are some people from abroad. So that's actually fun. So what happens is, at first, there is the professional, the real athletes run, male and female at the same time. Then there is a charity run with some famous people in there as well. We're gonna try and see if we can spot him, because I think I've captured him on this video, but I haven't looked at it myself. But one of them is Arjen Robben, the very famous Dutch soccer player. Has been playing in the national team. I don't know, if you're into soccer, you probably know about Arjen Robben, and he is gonna run here today. So that's actually quite nice. If I'm correct, he will be wearing an orange, neon orange shirt, because charity run team. I'll tell you some more about that in a minute. So what you're looking at here, it's basically the view of my apartment that I've been showing in several of my videos, like a lot at this point. However, there are all these what's the word for these metal fences? I think it's fences. Is it still fences? If they're like this kind, I don't know. There are fences and there are some advertisements going on. Basically, there is this sporty vibe. By the way, let me tell you one other thing. There are some people who keep asking me when I'm going to make Dutch whisper videos again, and I just thought I would tell you that I'm about to. I am planning to film a Dutch version of the GeoGuessr topography game soon, this week maybe, and I'll also make another grocery haul video in Dutch. I guess that's my most requested video at the moment. So I need to see when it's a good time. It might not happen. I don't know. It might happen next week. I'm actually going away to a little cabin in the forests, in the woods, next week with my son and my parents. It's gonna be really nice. And I'm not sure, maybe. I don't know. It might be easier to record because it's quiet and it's nice over there, but it also might be harder because there's more people in the house. So, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I'm planning to do that. Okay, now we're gonna pay attention because look at this blue car. Here is the first person who is going to win the race. You're about to see him. Let's see. Yeah, people start clapping. There he is. People start applauding. He's still running so fast. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about his run. There's number 2 and number 3. I think the number 3 was a person from Belgium. The person who won was from Uganda. But I'll tell you more about him in a second. This is the 4th. I think there was 1 Belgium, 1 Uganda, 2 from Kenya, and I think this number 5 is the first Dutch person. So now you've seen them. It might take a little bit now because I think this first group of 5 managed to get quite a head start from the rest of the runners. And then again, this group of 5, at first it was like a real group, and then it started to, not be a group anymore because the first ones started to run faster than the others. So there were a couple of more, and I think, I don't know, pretty soon now we're going to see the first woman. Like I said, men and women, the professionals, they start at the same time, and they just, it's, I don't know, somewhere about now, there's the first woman. Actually, at this point, I was recording this from my balcony, but my parents and my son and I were on the other side of the apartment. We opened the bedroom windows so we could really look down, so we had even better vision. So I'm hoping I'm able to see. What also helps is if I'm watching this with the sound on. That might be the first woman. That might be her. Oh boy, I'm not sure. The thing is, if you use the sound, you hear people applauding, and then you can hear, you can go from the sound. But at this point, I'm not really sure. So now I think we just saw the first woman, and I think now we're gonna keep watching for a bit because I want to look for the orange shirts to see if we can find the Arjen Robben, the soccer player. Also, there was Marianne Timmer, a famous Dutch ice skating champion. And for the Dutch people listening, there also was Ben Woldering. I don't know, I don't think he's really famous abroad. I'm not even sure. He is a entrepreneur, basically, very famous for a website that tells you where you can get the cheapest gas and electricity. He created that website when he was very young, like a teen, and he got very famous because of that. And right now, here are some orange shirts. Okay, this was not the one who won, so I think I was alright when I told you when the first women appeared, but it's kind of harder to see it from this footage. Still not a lot of ear. This is orange, this might be Arjen Robben. No, it's too much hair. Actually, when it was happening, I also wanted to see him, but somehow I managed to not see him. And I know he has arrived. I mean, there were news articles, and I don't know. So at this point, I'm just watching, like, we're just gonna keep watching for a little bit. This was an orange shirt. I can't see who is who. It's still so nice though to see that stuff like this, it's being organized again. People are able to meet again. There are a lot of people vaccinated by now, and it just, I don't know, I love seeing the community getting together, not just virtually, but for real. Oh boy, I really want to show you Arjen Robben. This might be Arjen Robben. No, he's running kinda. By the way, maybe you've spotted him already. Maybe he's been here already. I don't know. Or maybe maybe you'll see him before I do. Could this be him? Yeah, right now I'm just pointing out all the orange shirts, which just makes no sense. He also might be running with his son. I think he has a couple of sons, and he has run this run before with his son, with one of his sons. This could be him. No, it's too much white in the shirt. I'm just gonna give up. This is just like yesterday when I was like, I'm gonna spot him, and then I didn't. It's a little bit like GeoGuessr, but differently. By the way, I ran this course myself a couple of times, or like maybe even 5 or 6 times. I don't know, several times. And I'm not fast at all. I think my fastest was somewhere 30 something minutes, and then even more to the higher part of the 30s, like 38, 39, I don't know. I mean, I ran a marathon once, so I know how to run, but even then I wasn't fast. That's just not what I'm good at. Although I must say I never trained at getting faster. If you do interval training, you can certainly try and become faster, even though you're not naturally good at it. You can still become better at it, and I've just never done so. So, yeah. So let's see. I think at this point Arjen Robben has, I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm just gonna click away from the video, and I am gonna read you some facts from the news articles. So you keep watching, and if you see Arjen Robben, just tell me. I mean, there must be someone here, right, who recognizes him. I think we could maybe even try and find out, because I think he started only a little bit later than the person who won, so we might be able to find out the time. We can know the time of the winner, and then we can check his time, and then we know the difference, and then we can actually look in the footage, the same amount of time. But yeah, I don't know. You keep watching. I'm now gonna click away, and I'm gonna check the news articles. So let's see where we are. Where are we? Where we are. Wow. Okay, so first of all, the person that won was a man called Roches Kibet. I'm not sure if this is how you pronounce it. And he's from Uganda, and he was pretty young. I think he was 20 years old, although this newspaper article doesn't say that, but I think they said that on the television broadcast. And I think it was his first time, and he ran in 17 minutes and 27 seconds, and I think that wasn't like a world record or like a 4-mile record, but it almost was, and that's actually quite good, because he was relatively unknown. He was still young, and a couple of famous runners, who just return every year, weren't participating today. So I think people expected. It was actually quite interesting because people didn't know who was gonna win, but at the same time, people didn't expect the run to be ran that fast, because the most popular runners, the fastest runners, weren't here. So the fact that this young person managed to get close to the fastest run of the 4 mile is actually quite spectacular. So he might be back next year. I don't know. We'll see. So let's see. So I'm now just looking to see what else I can tell about him, but this article doesn't say that much because I have to pay for the article and I'm not logged in. So or just skip it. I'm just gonna Google his name and try and see what comes up. So some articles apparently, obviously. Here there is a profile on a website called World Athletics. So yeah, he's 20 years old. He's from Uganda. Well, no, there's not a lot of things on here actually. Yeah, I think he is, new, but there's one run here in Trento, Italy, that he has run. So, I'm not going to Instagram, no, Twitter, but this is another person with the same name. So, that's not him. So, I don't know, he might be, promising. I think that's the word. So, I'm gonna click this away. Then, the first woman, is called Eva Cherono. Again, not sure about the pronunciation. And she's from Kenya. And she has actually won the 4 mile 2 times before in a row. And then this time she also won. So she has now won 3 times in a row. So that is actually quite spectacular. And let me see here. Oh, apparently she fell short after starting, and still again she won. Wow, that's good. That's really good. Awesome. And now I want to see her time, but still again I'm not logged in, so I'm gonna Google her name as well to see what I can. Actually, she has a Wikipedia page, a pretty long one actually. Okay, let me tell you some more about her, and let me at the same time check if the video is still. Some more people are joining. Yes, okay. So Eva Cherono was born in 1996, so she is 25 years old, and she is from Kenya, and she's actually a long distance runner. So the 4 mile obviously is not a long distance, and she was running from a young age. And let me see, the steeplechase, the African Youth Athletics Championships in 2013. Oh, and in 2019 she competed in the World Cross Country Championships in Aarhus, Denmark. And she has won several runs. And okay. So that's about the winners. Then the charity run that I was talking about, the one that Arjen Robben and the other ones were running for. The money they earned 41,000 euros, and that's all going to a organization called Quiet, that's like an English phrase, but in Dutch it is stille armoede means poverty that you don't see. So, you know, it's basically like, okay, there's a lot of poverty going on and we might not even see it. So let's try and look better, you know, let's try and find out which people are in poverty and are struggling and how we can help them best. So that's actually good. So that's about the charity. Now I'm gonna go back to the video. There's still some, well, I don't know, almost 10 minutes left, so I can whisper some more. Let's see what's going on. And by the way, let me take a sip of water. I have a bottle of water here. So, okay. So at this point, more and more people start to arrive at this finish line, and I think this is just like the amateurs, so not the professionals anymore. Although I must say, people that are arriving now, they, I think the 4 mile didn't start much over 30 minutes ago. So the people that are arriving now are all still like finishing in like 30 or 35 minutes. So that means that these people, well, are doing very well, basically. Later on, but I mean, I didn't record for hours, but later on you also see people just walking or, you know, really struggling at the end. And one thing that is interesting is the course is actually kind of difficult because it's, well, it's not really like uphill because we're in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands is like basically totally flat. However, relatively speaking, it's, you know, there is some, you go uphill a little bit, basically. And especially because in the Netherlands we're not used to that, because usually it's flat. People are not trained for that, usually. So it does, we actually have this saying, which is vals plat, which means fake flat. And that is kind of this frustrating thing that might happen if a road looks flat and then you start running or bicycling, and then in fact it is there is a slightly incline. Is that the word? An incline. So somehow you feel way more tired than you expect because your eyes, they don't see the incline, but it's there. So that's actually what we call fake flat, vals plat. And the last part of this course, that is very much vals plat. So plenty of people decide that they are gonna sprint the last couple of hundreds of meters, but then when in fact they start to do it, it's vals plat. So they get way more tired than they expect. So at this point where we are looking at right now, people start to struggle like a lot, which is actually kind of entertaining to see. And at this point they also can see the finish line, you know, so they're not gonna stop, you know, they're gonna continue. So yeah, it's entertaining actually. And I pretty much, this was me all the time, even like when I run this course for the 5th time, and I knew about this, it would still happen to me because of what? Because if you are near the end, you want to sprint, and then it just, yeah, it happens all the time. The same with starting to run way too fast. The thing is with running, you have like your ideal speed, and if you run your ideal speed, it's like way best. You feel better. You'll have your best time. You know, you should just really run at your own speed. But then what happens at a run? People around you will start to run way faster, especially if you go as slow as I am. So that sort of distorts your sense of speed. So one, it's the real race, so you just think, you know, you get like, oh, I might be able to run a little bit faster. And B, you actually miscalculate your speed because everyone else is going way faster. You just tend to run faster than you should, and for the first 2 kilometers you don't even even notice. You just think everything is going very well, and then boom, you get tired. Way more tired than you should have been if you had just really, if you had really started running at your own speed. And the stupid thing is that this has happened to me every time as well. So even the last time, I knew very well that this was the pitfall and that I should not be doing it. Did it again. So yeah, and one thing which I also really like about this distance is that because it's 4 miles, 6.4 kilometers almost, it's pretty doable. So even there are some people who just don't run at all, and they start to run it, and usually they struggle a bit. They might walk a little bit of the distance, but usually there are some people who, without any experience, do it in like 30 minutes, and everybody is like, what? How? Why? It's really funny. And still, if you only get a little bit of practice, it's a doable distance for everybody basically. Considering if you are like healthy to start with. So that's, I think, is enjoyable about this distance. So let's see. There's still some time left. Yeah, at this point you can see it's starting to get a little bit busier on the track. People, and it's even for the amateurs, At first the professionals, obviously, they start all together, but it's just a small group, so they don't annoy each other too much, or not at all. But then again, for the amateurs, at one point, it's like just really busy, way busier even than you're seeing here now. And people just, some people want to run really fast, others want to go more slowly, and it's just basically like a fight. And people get frustrated, and it's it's all pretty entertaining actually. And also usually along the track, there's plenty of things going on. There's people applauding, people singing, there's music, there's like live bands playing, there's children doing all kinds of stuff. Usually always there's like little children who wanna high five the contestants, so you'll be able to high five everyone. And especially if you live in Groningen and you're running the 4 mile, you'll see people all the time, so it's basically it's one big party. Although I must say, personally, I don't care for people watching me when I run too much, especially not when I'm struggling. So my strategy basically was wearing music in my ears, earbuds, and just kind of not pay attention, zone out. That works best for me. But yeah, some people really like it. I, for one, was happy when I ran the marathon. It was in 2016 in Dublin. Way more hilly than I was, trained for, by the way. But there were like a lot of people at the start, and also again a lot of people at the finish, and that I really enjoyed. But then during the track, like 42 kilometers, 26 miles, there were some people here and there, but not too much. That I find that to be really nice. And then at the end I could use the distraction because, well, it was a lot. Let me tell you that. It sure was a lot. So here we still have a little bit of time left. I think at this point, yeah, you can already see that some people are walking like a little bit more slowly, or like they're struggling a little bit. So I don't know what their time will be, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this whole thing took place on a Sunday afternoon yesterday, and the whole event was a couple of hours, and then afterwards, all the fences were taken down pretty quickly again. So it's actually quite fun. You wake up and it's like a quiet Sunday morning, then all this explodes, and then a couple of hours later it's just gone, like nothing ever happened. And I don't know, it's interesting to see. I pretty much enjoy it. Yeah, so it's actually quite nice. So I hope you enjoyed watching this as well. If you saw Marianne Timmer or Arjen Robben or Ben Woldering or stamp so I can try and find